Everclear to start episode 43. This is the song Jackie Robinson. It is Jackie Robinson Day today. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but how about those Marlins? 5-6, winning extra innings. Yimi Garcia basically faces Murderers Row, Acuna, Freeman, and Ozuna back-to-back and strikes them all out. Strikes two out and gets the other guy to pop out.
Yeah.
Yimi Garcia is the closer for the Marlins, period. That's it. I'm done with Bass. Bass can be a setup guy.
That's awesome. What a series. What a way to, not that the season. Oh my God, Denise, or our Good Luck Baseball. You got to throw me a baseball.
There's a couple of them out here.
What, you get a new one over there?
That we can't use that one because it's actually an affiliated with another team, but Grant gave it to me.
What a way to write the season. Thank you, Denise. What a way to write the season. What a way to, what was it, a 1-6 start, and then boom, you sweep the hated Atlanta Braves.
Yep. And you get a couple out, you get a win off the Mets, too. You split that series, and you play that third game. I think it's going to be August 31st, the makeup game. And then today, a 12-20 start in about, 30 minutes from now, Trevor Rogers is going to take the mound against Ian Anderson. Rogers, tough game, his first outing against the Cardinals, gave up 3 runs very, very early. Looked like he was out of sorts, but then came back in that game against the Mets that we won and looked pretty good. So hopefully that continues today, and he gets a sweep.
This will be exciting. The guy's got to be tired. It's interesting. You see the grind of the season when you just, it's been a while since I followed a season so closely, and you just think about these guys and this is with the day off.
Right.
From on Sunday, right? The rained out game against the Mets. And here they are, like again tonight, grinding, going into another tough series.
Yeah. So they should be done on the plane by 5:00 and back here tonight, ready for the Giants tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And we're going to that game
on Friday.
Yeah. Isn't that tomorrow?
My week is off.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow
so
night.
Think about there's just no break, and we're going to go there tomorrow for a big weekend series. Against the Giants. Exactly tomorrow, and it's just like there's no break.
No, there's no break in baseball, man, for sure. But look, we got the icon up there in the corner of the screen there, Jackie Robinson.
And before we get to Jackie Robinson, because I do want to
talk about.
I do want to do it, but I'm wearing. I want to talk about Jackie Robinson because it's something very, very near and dear to my heart, and I want to spend some time on it, unpacking it a little bit and what it means to all of us. I want to talk about the Canes yesterday. I'm wearing my Canes hat today, and I've got the college baseball fever again. Going to that game, a 4:00 game at beautiful Marklight Stadium. It's really weird because they've got to ratchet it down. It's like 100 fans. It's really
wow.
They actually have on each of the seats
so there's like the 100 richest people in Coral Gables.
It's a weird no, but you know what it is? It's all the scouts, right? All the scouts are there with their guns, right? There's like 8 guys right there in the center. And some random students. You can see like some really pretty girls that you could tell are the girlfriends of all the players. Right. And it's a weird crowd, but it was great. And it was interesting because to be there was awesome. And it's a different game because of all the errors, the mistakes. A super hard hit. Shot to second, a grounder to second, the guy will not make the play.
Right.
And so it makes the baseball is almost a little more exciting because there's a lot of these routine plays. But I was there with Mike Caffey. Shout out. Make sure you read his column in Gables Insider. He doesn't miss a game.
Right.
He's there, old school. He's got his scorecard.
Nice.
He's got the roster. He's going up and talking to the WVUM guys the whole time, clarifying things of what's happened. Why is this guy coming in? What's the double switch? Exactly. I mean, it's so awesome to be there with him.
That's cool.
And he listens to the VUM on the little, FM thing in your earphones. He brought one for me, so I was able to sit there and listen to the game while doing it.
That's
shout out to you, Mike. I couldn't have had more fun.
Did you get the milkshake?
Did not get that. I didn't go down. I was so into the game. But the best part of the game was at the end. I mean, this should be on ESPN. I didn't get to watch ESPN last night, but there was a play that was one of the most surprising plays I've ever seen. First baseman takes a grounder in front of the bag
Canes
for
first baseman?
FGCU,
Okay.
Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Makes the play, is there, charges the ball in front of the first, and instead of turning, pivoting, and racing back to the bag to beat the runner to the bag, he decides to square up and tag the runner.
Okay.
And the guy, the runner, I can't remember his name, goes low, and it was like a cartoon, goes right between the legs.
And he safe.
And you
Sweet.
and it's one of those plays, like, it's funny when you're there, like that throws that safe, like with that vehement, like he was.
Yeah, and the 100 screaming fans that were there
It was
insane.
Awesome. Yeah. And
All
it's
right.
like, it's
and
always
Sebastian
different.
was there. Sebastian?
No Sebastian, but the Maniac was there.
Oh,
and I
okay.
gotta tell you something. I told my daughter afterwards, I took her to scouts afterwards, and I said, hey, I saw the Maniac. He was asking about you.
Of course.
So she was all happy.
It's like
and
the
I
Easter
said,
Bunny or Santa Claus.
Exactly. She loves the Maniac. But what I said to her, I said, there's something changed about the Maniac. And she's like, what's that? I said, I think he went on a COVID diet because the Maniac's lost.
He's skinny. Yeah. Was he wearing a mask?
It's like- it's
fake
like-
mask like Billy Marlin?
The best part was he had this mask, and you know how the person at Canes I think of wearing it is the coach Manny Diaz. It's like the scarf that you pull up,
the gator.
covered with the symbol,
Right.
and the Maniac had a giant gator
Nice.
covering his whole head.
Nice. You know, gators.
It's like the size of a towel around his head.
When we went to Jupiter, gators were outlawed. I don't know what that's the proper word, but they weren't
allowed.
prohibited.
Yeah, because I guess they're saying they're not.
Not as
People like them because
safe.
I can tell you, as a fat guy,
Yeah,
the gator,
makes
you
your-
breathe.
Yeah, it gets
well,
like
you breathe more
get rid of
normally.
one of your chins.
You breathe more normally.
All right.
You know,
Very
they're
cool.
thinner. It's thinner.
Yeah. Hey, well, I got to go back to the game last night because this is something that I think is going to be on our mind throughout the season. We go up 5-0. Jazz hits a 3-run homer. Electric. The place is going.
Yep.
The team is on fire. And then shortly thereafter, we let them creep back into the game, and we have to go extra frames to get the win. And then here's another thing about the guy on second to start the 10th. If you got a save opportunity going, and you got the first 3 batters of the Atlanta Braves, I don't think there's another better like 3 guys together than those 3 guys.
Yep.
You could easily get a blown save with 1 hit. Just that quickly, if you don't score in that first top, if you're the away team,
that's an interesting. It does skew that stat.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. By the way, it wasn't extra innings, but that's what happened in the Canes game, because what happened was to finish the thing, to give you an example of how that works, is the kid sneaks to first on the between the legs slide.
Right.
They lay down a perfect bunt, sacrifice bunt. Guy gets the second, and then scores on the single.
Right.
But it was a hit and run.
Right.
So you're exactly right. Like literally,
he's halfway down the line.
you could walk in. Yeah, you could walk in first pitch. The hit and run's on.
Right.
Game over.
Done.
You blow the save on 1 pitch.
Yeah, it didn't happen. It's going to happen
on a base hit.
Here's my prediction: the number of blown saves in the majors will increase by 40%.
That's interesting. I got to say, I hadn't thought about that, and that is exactly right. On a hit and run, that's not fair. It's not fair that
I don't like that rule. I think we should go back to just like the normal. I don't care
just
if
like
it
the
lasts
Yankees
till
said,
5 o'clock.
Play real baseball. Play real
for real.
baseball.
I don't get it.
And it's funny because that is our thing. Whenever I taught my daughter, whenever the inning goes to overtime, to extra innings or overtime, it's like free baseball. We're not paying for this. This is free.
Yeah.
And it's not really free because they're trying to end it by putting someone on second.
That's exactly right. But look, nothing more exciting than winning the way we did. Jesus Aguilar came up with a big hit. Look, I was a non-believer in Dylan Floro, and now I've seen him.
You've seen the light.
His actual the way why we got him here.
Yep.
He pitched lights out again. Blyer's the guy that blew it. He had a save opportunity that he blew. But then Yimmy, that boy's on fire. I got full confidence when that guy when you can step in there with those 3 guys and you got a runner on second, man. Like I was watching on Twitter, looking at Twitter earlier, and there was a picture of 2 plums, and then the tweet was, "This should be Yimmy Garcia's profile picture. 2 giant plums.
I love it.
Love it. Yeah. So I'm super excited for this game. Unfortunately, I'm going to be here in the studio.
We need you
we
TV.
watch it. I'll have it in.
You can watch it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it on my phone and at least listen to the game and watch the game.
We need to renegotiate your contract because
because you could finish the day and I could go to the tavern and watch the game.
But that fridge should just be full of beers. I don't understand what the hell's going on.
This is bad. This is really bad.
So
I got to talk about this hat for a second. Then we'll talk about Jackie Robinson. So a friend of mine from Huntsville, Alabama. Her name's Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
Tammy's awesome. She's a friend of mine from the Legion, Post 31, right down here on 59th Street. She was up in Huntsville and got me the Trash Panda hat, which is the AA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels. So I don't feel bad wearing it because that's the first World Series game I ever went to. Was the Angels versus San Francisco. Bonds, and they had like Tim Salmon and
no way.
Yeah, a bunch.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was the very first World Series game I ever went to. So I still have a little bit of love.
Awesome.
Back then they were the Anaheim Angels.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna bring you. I have an Angels spring training hat that would be good.
That's
so
cool.
It's fine. I'm with you. Like I'm very limited in whose hats I'll wear. Other teams.
Yeah, I'll definitely not wear any in division hats. Yeah, and or really National League, unless it's Cubs, because I worked for those guys and lived there for a long time. But so if anybody doesn't know what a trash panda is, obviously it's a raccoon.
Obviously a raccoon.
Yeah.
Let's talk Jackie Robinson.
Man, listen, the guy was a trailblazer, an icon. The abuse that he had to endure to play a game that you love, unprecedented. Yeah, I mean, and that's why we remember him. That's why we remember.
And I got to tell you,
today being April 15th, being the very first day that he made his major league debut.
Major league debut. And I got to tell you, I should have brought it in. I have my daughter last year, first grade, they read Rosa Parks book, Black History Month, Rosa Parks books, then they read Jackie Robinson. And it was very interesting because my daughter plays baseball, follows baseball with me. But what really resonated her about the Jackie Robinson book was the book talks about him not being accepted, playing a game, and focused on that aspect. And my daughter, it really resonated with my daughter at that age, at 7 years old, this idea of, because of the color of your skin, you can't be allowed to play a game. I mean, here's Rosa Parks not allowed to take a bus. I mean, that's much more serious, right? I mean, it's to make a living and being where she can sit in a bus. But that really struck her, like really the injustice of that.
Right.
And we spent a lot of time talking about Jackie Robinson and really focusing on the personal bravery of the distraction of doing, like, these people don't want you here. They wish you were dead.
Right.
And you have the mental strength to perform at the level that he did.
Right.
I'm grateful for him. I think it's a time to reflect on baseball and the efforts we do in baseball to make it inclusive.
Right.
It's interesting following the Marlins, who have incredible diversity
at every level, from the front office to the bottom.
But I was watching the Braves. The Braves do too, and I think I love. I don't know what it is. I love seeing ball players, all different shapes and sizes and colors, and speaking different languages.
Talking about like Pedro Sandoval, I think he's like at least 300 pounds.
So my daughter, when she sees that Poppy, that guy's almost as fat as you.
Exactly, and I don't even know how, but the guy can still stroke the ball.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's a monster.
I love it. I love seeing we're seeing more of the Asian players.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it just makes it it's a world game. It's awesome.
It's a game for everybody.
And listen, you watch soccer. Most of the players look the same, right? They're about 5'11", same build.
Yeah. Chiseled face.
Because you got to run the whole time.
The flowing hair.
Where baseball, you can have these fatties. They always say, like, there's nothing as lovable. Actually, this is a good
like
question.
Babe Ruth.
The most lovable. They always say the most lovable athlete, fat basketball player.
That's it. Exactly.
Second, fat baseball player.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Who doesn't love that? And you know what? I think Jackie, beyond like wanting to play and break the barrier, break that glass ceiling, I think it was more about he had a vision for beyond the guys that were coming behind him, and how that would change the complexion of the game, and how that would change the way baseball is played. So,
and
that made it a much better game.
That was reflected in the way he lived his life after that. Because I got to tell you something. What I liked about him too is he was honest about the experience. He didn't whitewash you. He didn't minimize what happened to him.
Right.
He actually wanted to talk about it. It was part of his experience, but he didn't bring the bitterness. Does that make sense? Like he was hopeful that people would do this. And I'm going to tell a story that I haven't told many people about kind of racial relationships. And my father, who passed away about 5 years ago, he grew up in a segregated South playing football. And one day I'm in an argument in high school. I'm sure I was super liberal. What's the word for high-minded or like naive about the world? And we're in an argument about something. And I said, I challenged him. And I said, Dad, do you really believe in your heart that a white man and a black man are equal? And my dad gave me the most thoughtful answer. Son, I wasn't raised to believe that. I didn't always believe that, but I stand before today. I've learned and I've changed. Right. And I do believe black people and white people are equal and deserve to be equal. And I don't know if today you could get away with saying that. I'm not sure a politician could even say that.
No. Say that they used to believe
exactly that. The growth curve that generation went through when they couldn't go to a beach together. Right. They couldn't go to a restaurant together. My father, was a construction guy, and he's like, he remembered as a kid, you go to the restaurant and the white guys would go in the front and the black guys would sit in the back in the truck and eat because they weren't allowed inside, and everyone thought that was okay.
Right. And I mean, I can't even imagine that. That's crazy. So I think we got to take off our name badges, and let's put up the 42 again. And I'm going to just kick it off with this episode 43 of the Mainline Marlins podcast. Let's flip the M today. Go fish. Here's a tribute to you, Jackie.